saving the video game industry.
One game at a time.
One gamer at a time.
From games that suck.
I'm Derek.
And I'm Drake.
And we love games.
Today on the Gamers News Network, presidential candidates. Which one should a gamer vote for? Who's trying to censor our buying decisions, and who is standing up for the gamer? First, let's meet the Democratic frontrunner, one Miss Hillary Clinton. You would all think that a good liberal would be all for us enjoying our video games while watching gay porn and forming drum circles, but in fact, she's been a strong adversary to the gaming community. A quote from Miss Clinton: "The disturbing material in Grand Theft Auto and other games like it is stealing the innocence of our children, and it's making the difficult job of being a parent even harder." Ms. Clinton even wrote a bill proposing a $5,000 fine for anyone selling a mature video game to a person that is deemed underage for that game. Moving on to John Edwards. He says that he supports the ESRB, adding that it's good for an industry to regulate itself. But he also says, quote, "If the industry does not continue to make progress in keeping video games with intense violence and adult content away from children, we will need to consider further steps to ensure that parents' decisions about their children's exposure to these games are not being undermined by retailers, advertisers, and manufacturers." That doesn't sound like he's supporting the ESRB to me. Mike Gravel. Give him hell, Mike. Keep using that energy sword. Dennis Kucinich actually opened up a Second Life house. Is that what you call it? A Second Life house, or is it an account? All right, well, either way, whatever you call it, doesn't that just kind of sound like a candidate trying to prove that he's hip to gamers by being on Second Life? And you know he's posing because nobody cares about Second Life. Barack Obama. He hadn't had much time in his political career to comment on video games much, but we did find this clip.
I want you to talk to your buddy Pookie or your friend JJ. I want you to tell him, it's time for you to turn off the TV and stop playing Game Boy. We got work to do.
That is a stereotypical view of the effects of video games. Playing Game Boy might just be exactly the education that children of this age need. Moving on to the Republican side, Mike Huckabee. Chuck Norris has Mike Huckabee's back, and if you remember Super Kicks on the 8-bit Nintendo, Huckabee, you're all right with us. John McCain has stated publicly that he supports Joe Lieberman's legendary fight against violent video games. Showstopper right there. And the worst of the worst, Mitt Romney. Here's a quote we found by him. "I've proposed that we enforce our obscenity laws again, and that we get serious against those retailers that sell adult video games that are filled with violence, and that we go after those retailers." Scary. Moving on to Ron Paul. His supporters actually recently shut down the World of Warcraft as hundreds of those geeky computer nerds lined up on a winding mountain path that doesn't really exist to support Ron Paul. And anyone who can shut down an MMO is automatically endorsed by us. Plus, in all of his years of being a representative, he has never voted to regulate the internet or video games. So who does the conscientious gamer vote for? Looks like Ron Paul comes out ahead in that race. But maybe you shouldn't vote for the leader of the free world based on how they feel about video games, as much as you love them.
We Love Gamers urges you not to cast your vote based on video games. This advertisement is approved by We Love Gamers.